Noche, profe Carlos David Moncada. Vengo a hablarle acerca de mi ensayo sobre el artículo Teaching Game and Simulation Based of Probability en inglés para la clase de simulación de la Universidad Piloto de Colombia, seccional Alto Magdalena. In his article, Cooperan explored how game-based learning and simulation can be used to teach probability to students. The author argues that games and simulation are an effective way to involve students in learning probability, as it allows them to experiment with different scenarios and see how probabilities change based on different variables. In addition, games and simulation can be used as assignment tools to measure a student's understanding of probability. To support his argument, Cooperan presents several studies that have investigated the use of games and simulation in the teaching of probability. For example, he series a study by Now in 2015 that found that the students who played the game based on probability significantly improved their understanding of the concept of probability. Another study cited by Coparan is the work of HSU 2016, who used a simulation to teach students about the law of a large number and found that the students significantly improved their understanding of the concept after interacting with simulation. Game-based game-based learning. Cooperan argues that game-based learning is an effective way to teach probability to students. Games can be used to teach a variety of concepts relative to probability, such as probability calculation, decision-making, and statistical inference. In addition, games can be used as assignment tools to measure a student's understanding of probability. Cooper series several studies that have investigated the use of games in teaching probability and concludes that games are effective and interesting way to involve student learning. Using simulation in probability teaching. Cooper also discussed the benefit of using simulation in teaching probability. According to him, simulation allows students to experiment with different situations and see how probabilities change based on different variables. In addition, simulation can help students understand abstract concepts such as theoretical and experiment probability. To support his argument, Cooper presents a table summarizing the specific benefits of using simulation in teaching probability. Conceptual framework. Cooper presents a conceptual framework for his study of the use of games and simulation in the teaching of probability. The conceptual framework is based on three components. 1. Education obstacles. 2. Instructional design. And 3. Assignment of learning. According to Cooper, these three components are essential for the effective design of games and simulation in the teaching of probability. In addition, Cooper discussed the specific benefits of using simulation in teaching probability. According to him, simulation allows the student to experiment with different situations and see how probability changes based on different variables. In addition, simulation can help students better understand abstract concepts such as theoretical and experiment probability. To support his argument, Cooper presents a table summarizing the best benefits of simulation in teaching probability. The simulation were use of visualization and experimentation of probability concepts, such as the law of large number and binomial distribution. Students participated in the activities over a 4-week period and were asked to complete questionnaires before and after the study to assess their understanding of probability. Results obtained from games and simulations compared and found that games and simulations were effective in improving students' understanding of probability. The results show that students significantly improve their knowledge of concepts such as theoretical, experimental, and conditional probability after partici- 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 participating in the activities. In addition, students report that they enjoyed the activities based on games and simulation. In discussing his article, Coparan highlights that learning based off games and simulation can be an effective way to teach probability to students. Game and simulations allow students to experiment with different situations and see how the odds change based on different variables. In addition, games and simulations can be used as tools to measure student understanding of probability. As for games, Coparan suggests that they can be used to teach a variety of concepts related to probability, such as probability calculations, decision making, and statistical inference. Sorry. In addition, games can be used to assessment to tools to measure students' knowledge of the concept. In conclusion, Comparance study highlights how learning based off games and situations can be an effective and interesting way to teach probability to students. The results of the study suggest that both games and simulation are valuable tools for improving students' understanding of abstract mathematical concepts such as theoretical and experimental and probability. In addition, the conceptual framework presented by Coparan can be used by teachers to effectively design games and simulations in the teaching of probability. The results of the study also suggest that the students really enjoy activities based on games and simulations, which can increase their motivation and commitment to learning. Overall, Cooperant study offers valuable insight, insight into how games and simulations can be used to improve the teaching of probability. The student results suggest that these tools can be effective in improving student understanding of abstract mathematical concepts as well as increasing their motivation and commitment to learning. Muchas gracias, profe.